Good evening. Calling to order the February 28, 2022 Lake Washington School Board Special Board Meeting. Let the record reflect that board members Stewart and Carlson and myself are present and participating remotely. Directors Bleasner and Choi are excused. Under the guidelines for attending board meetings and Proclamation 20-28.15, the Open Public Meetings Act and the Open Public Records Act, the extension of the prohibition on in-person meetings continues, but there's an exception for public meetings that can comply with the guidelines for business meetings found in the miscellaneous venues guidance. Under that guidance, agencies may hold in-person meetings under the Open Public Meetings Act, provided that all applicable face covering requirements are followed. This board values public participation and engagement in our meetings, and we will continue to comply with all laws, including the Open Public Meetings Act and the emergency requirements related to miscellaneous venues. If the guidance and those requirements cannot be met, the board must hold its meetings remotely. And due to non-compliance at prior in-person board meetings, the board has determined that it will hold its meetings remotely. The board will notify the public of the location of meetings through the board meetings tab. At this time, it is planned that all scheduled board meetings will be held remotely unless there are changes to the guidance provided both at the state and the county level. Board meetings, study sessions, and special board meetings will continue to be live streamed on the district's website. If you're not able to live stream, you may call, and that number is 425-936-2813. The conference ID number is 37127. Okay, we have one item on our agenda for tonight. I guess we probably need to approve the agenda first. I will now entertain a motion to approve the agenda for this February 28, 2022 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Director Stewart, seconded by Director Carlson. All those in favor, please signify by voting aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. We have one item on the agenda for tonight, and that is Resolution 2324 for the sale of district property, Rose Hill Property Site 27. Dr. Holman, could you just preface that real quick?
Absolutely, and then Associate Superintendent Barbara Posthumus wants to say a few words, but as the board remembers, about 3 years ago probably, started the process around the selling of Site 27, which is property on Rose Hill that the district actually was not able to construct a school on, and so because of that, the board did determine that it was time to move forward with selling that property. And so today really is that final step of this process. And so Barbara, do you want to just share briefly what today is about so that the board is aware?
Yeah, great. The last time we took action on this was in 2019, and the buyer, D.R. Horton, had to go through a feasibility process, and we are closing. The great news is we are closing the sale of that property tomorrow. And but one more document was required by the title company, and that was an additional authorization by the board once the buyer waived its contingencies, which it did, is to have the board then authorize one more time and authorize Dr. Holman or myself to sign closing documents, which has occurred, and then the sale will close tomorrow. So it's we will receive a net of $18 million sale with a net of $17.7 million in revenue for that property. So that's what it is.
So, okay, we have, yes, Director Stewart, any questions?
Yeah, real quick. I'm sorry. Did you say it's 19 plus 17 or?
Sorry, I was talking about 2019, the year.
Okay,
The property was sold for $18 million, and
Okay.
that's the price of the sale.
okay. I was gonna say, all of a sudden it was a bonus. Got me all excited there.
Okay, so any other questions on the resolution? Dr. Holman, anything else that you need to add?
No, just appreciate D.R. Horton's partnership through this. I know it's been a long process. They had to go through a lengthy process to get to this day as well. And so we're excited to execute this deal. And these funds actually allow us flexibility to be able to do things such as the purchase of the Cadman property, which the board executed, I believe it was about a year and a half ago. And so, the sale of this allows us to do other strategic efforts in the purchase of land for future schools as well. And then tonight you have Resolution 2324 in your board packet with the board taking action this evening.
Okay, since there are no further questions, I will entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2324 as presented in our board packet.
So moved. Sorry, I was having trouble finding the button.
Trying to give you the courtesy of going first.
Moved by Director Carlson and seconded by Director Stewart that the board approve Resolution 232, adopt Resolution 232, approve and adopt Resolution 2324 as presented in our board packet. All those in favor, please signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Or I guess before we go on, yes, thank you. Any additional comments or discussion on the resolution?
No, I'm glad to see that this is done after lots of thoughtful, hard work to make sure that it was the right thing to do.
Can we tell them they have to take the missile silos with it?
And I want to thank David again for all his, David is here in case there were questions, but I also want to thank David and his team for all the work related to this, because yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Yes, and it's even by 2 cents, even longer than when we went mutual in August. This has been the selling of this property has been a long process that is great to free up these funds to use on land that we can construct new schools. So thanks, everyone. Okay, so there's a motion pending to adopt Resolution 2324 as presented in our board packet. All those in favor, please signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries unanimously. Okay. That was the only item on our agenda for tonight. We have a study session tomorrow, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move adjournment.
Okay.
Second.
Moved by Director Carlson, second by Director Stewart that we adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by voting aye. Aye. All right. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
All right, thank you.